Hi everyone, so today I thought I'd show you how I made this card. This card I made in a live stream and it was off one I'd seen on Pinterest. So Carrie, I think her name is Carrie from Norway, she had sent it a suggestion for me to make. There was no instructions, I literally had to go off the picture, but it wasn't too difficult to figure out. So I've done it as a 6x6. I think the original was a 6x6, but I'm not entirely sure. So it starts off just as a gatefold, and you open up the gatefold, and then you've got this kind of like shutter sort of thing here, and yeah, it's kind of like a shutter card really, but you've got these extra wings, these extra panels here, flaps, whatever you want to call them, and on the picture they had punched the edge as well, which I really think helps the detail. You really do a lot with this, and the actual sort of shutter fold itself is not that tricky to do. Obviously you've got space on the back to write, so you can put your message on the back there. I wanted to have the flat, these bits on both sides to make it equal, and then obviously it just folds back down and it will fit in an envelope for a 6x6 card. So that is the card for today. The papers that I've used are my new Buttercup Fields paper pack. Now this is available as a A4 and an 8.5 by 8.5 over on Amazon. It's also available as a digital pack in my Ko-fi shop, and at the back as well there's loads of little cutty outy bits, things you can cut out. Obviously you can see I've had a good old cut out already, so I've really used the big this one here. So we've got, so this frame was from inside. Yeah, I think that's all I've used from there, but on other cards you would have seen I've used some of the cutty outy bits, and I'm going to be using some of these little creatures on today's card I think as well. But yeah, so there you go, so that is the card for today, so let's get into it. Okay, so for this card you're going to need two pieces of base card that are 2.5 by 6, and on the 2.5 inch edge you're just going to score 1/2 inch. Now you can change up the width of this, so keep it to 6 inches high, but if you want to change the width of it you can. It all really depends on what width your punch turns out as, and also what what sort of look you want it to be. I was quite happy with the way this turned out on the live stream card, so I'm going to stick with the same measurements. Now on this piece you've got a piece that's 6 by 12. If you want, if you don't have a 12-inch length, then if you go over to my live stream, Louise Haydu has very kindly posted the measurements in the comments for a 11-inch length. So what I will do is I will have pinned that comment to the top of the comments by the time you see this video, so then you can check those measurements. So that will give you measurements if you want a 12 instead of having a 12-inch length. If you've got shorter than that, like a letter size, then there will be measurements for that. So if you've got a 6 by 12, you just for now want to score at 3 inches and at 9 inches. Now we're going to bring the scoreboard back in a minute, but we just need to make a couple of marks first. So if we grab a ruler and a pencil, and along the 3-inch mark, and I'm going to do this on the inside, on the 3-inch mark we're just going to make a mark at 1 inch and at 5 inches, just on that score line, and the same here. Now I'm doing mine super light, just so that then I don't have to rub anything out because you won't really be able to see it. Okay, so 1 inch and 5 inches, and then what we want to do is grab a cutting mat, or if you've got a trimmer that cuts well, you could do that. Grab a Stanley knife and a ruler, and we're going to cut from that 3-inch mark across to the 9-inch mark score line, lining those two marks up. So we're going to cut across, just make sure it's cut, and then we're going to do the same over here. And then you should end up with that like that. So next we're going to bring the scoreboard back in again. Okay, so that's what you should end up with. So you should end up with a nice little cut going between the two score lines. So then what we want to do is come in, and at 4 inches we are going to score, and in fact I'm going to do what I did in the live. I'm just going to make a little mark because I can't really see where the ridges are very well, so let's just bring this in. So it's going to come an inch in and an inch in from those two score lines. So at 4 inches and at 8 inches you're going to score, but you're only going to score in the middle here. Okay, so we're going to get that in like that, and then same with the 8, just kind of find where the grooves are, get that in like that, and then we're going to come to 6 inches and just score at the top and also at the bottom like that. So that is what you should end up with. If I hold it like that you can kind of see. I know some of you prefer it if I do like a template with lines and stuff. It's just having the time to actually draw that out, but yeah. So that is your template done. Okay, so with those score lines, you can kind of see it better if I do this. What we're going to do now is we're going to fold our 2 gatefold folds in. Just going to make sure they're nice and lined up and even and not wonky. And then we're going to fold this one in here like that. And then if you open it up, what you want to do is this here is going to be a mountain, this here is going to be a mountain, and these two are going to be mountains. So what I should sort of do is just give it a bit of a crease so you get that fold, and then when you're happy you can then go ahead and just kind of burnish it a bit better. It is sort of tricky because obviously it doesn't fold in half, so you do have to kind of be a bit clever with just having a bit of a play with folding it. Give it a bit of a burnish, and then these need a bit of a burnish. Okay, so you should end up with that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go ahead and stick our pieces that, in fact we're not going to do that first, we're going to come to these now. If you stick these pieces on first, you just won't be able to hide your tabs, and I want to hide my tabs. So let's come over to these, and what we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and punch the edges, and I'm actually going to use a different punch this one because I quite like this one, but I thought if I'd use a different one then you can see the difference between the two. Okay, so I'm going to go for this leafy lace die. This is an X-cut, well, die punch. So I'm going to take my piece of card, my flap, and I'm doing it on the side that isn't the tab, and we're going to go ahead and place it centrally and punch, and then move it off to the left, line it up with the pattern on the left, punch again. Now this one's quite useful because it's only got 3 little flowers, so when I did the live stream, that other punch, it's a lot more complicated. So with this one I can just count in 1, 2, 3. I know that's the last one, so I can put that on there like that, and then when I punch this I'm going to know it all lines up, which it does. Same with this one, I know 1, 2, 3, that's the end flower, so we line that up with that end flower there and punch it. 1, 2, 3, line that up there and punch. And so there we have our leafy lace border. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again on this piece of card. Okay, so we've got our 2 punched edges. Now what you want to do is measure from that fold line, that score line, to kind of like the edge of your pattern, as it were. Mine's about just over 1.5. It's about 1 5/8 roughly. So if I go for a piece of pattern paper that's 1.5 inches wide, then that should work. So we're just going to now just fold this over and burnish like that, and we're going to fold this one over as well and burnish like that. And then you've got your 2 little flappy bits. So we're going to go ahead now and stick 2 pieces of pattern paper on here, and as I said I'm going to do mine as 1.5 by 6 3/4. Okay, so I've gone ahead and stuck my 2 pattern pieces in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add some glue or red tape onto this bit here, and then that is going to stick here so that it sticks onto this side. Okay, if you want to put a pattern on the back you can. I'm not going to. I didn't on my other piece, and it's fine. You don't really see that other side. You do see a bit of it, but actually I think that just the plain, it kind of helps to kind of break all the pattern up. So we're going to go ahead and put some glue on there like that, and then bring this in. Let me just sort of squidge it, and stick this into here. Now one thing that you do need to be careful of is the weight of card that you're using. So when I did my live stream card, I actually used card that was like about 300 GSM and it was really thick. This is actually a 250 and even this is quite chunky on this, because if you think about it, you've got 2 thicknesses of card and then 2 more thicknesses of card, so you've got 4 thicknesses in total of card, so that's quite a lot. So now we're going to go ahead and put some glue on this side and we're going to stick this one down the same. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to go ahead and you can stick these pieces down. So in total you're going to need 4 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick these down. I've kept these ones for the front because they kind of match up, and then I've got these that don't. So we're going to go ahead now and just stick these down. Okay, so you should end up with that, hopefully. So you've got your front panels and then you've got your inside panels. So now we just need to deal with this section here. If you want to, you can cut out a piece that is 5 3/4 wide and 5 1/4 tall, and then just trim the top 3/4 off, the bottom 3/4 off, and then this bit will be left. So then just trim 3/4 3/4 and then just trim that down to be 3 3/4, and that will give you this. So that's what I've done. If you've got like a pattern that needs to be kind of be continuous, that's what I've done with this one. But if not, it doesn't matter. You just need in total 4 pieces of pattern that are 3/4 by 2 3/4. So that's these 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. You need 2 pieces that are 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you need 1 piece in the middle that's 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Or if you have a topper, you don't need to bother with this. I think I might be adding this because I have got a topper to go on. We'll see what works. But I'm going to go ahead now and stick these down onto the corresponding pieces on my card. Okay, so you should end up with that. I am going to stick this down because what I've got is I've got this die cut, which is I believe it's a Coca-Rosa die cut, and I really liked it. So I've cut it out 3 times, and you'll see why in a minute. And then I've got a circle which kind of matches it, which I can kind of layer up just behind it, just enough that the leaves are green but it doesn't go around the outside. And then I've got this, which is slightly smaller, which is going to go in the middle, which I'm going to stamp my greeting on. And so that is going to go in the middle there, but there's enough space for it to go there. So I'm going to go ahead now and just stick this one down. So this is the 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 square. Okay, so I stuck the middle in. So now we're going to go ahead and I've gone ahead and stuck this down onto the green. I've done that for all 3 of them. So this one's going to go in the middle like that, and I've actually stamped a little it's time to celebrate, it's your birthday, and that's going to go in the middle there. So I'm just going to go ahead now and stick that down, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it with a little bit of silicone glue, just because I would like it a little bit raised up, but I don't want it really raised up. So with silicone glue you can put some on, just put some little tiny blobs, and then I can stick it down and it can be sort of raised up but not, you know, excessively. So we're going to put that on there like that and just press it down a little bit. So there we go, and then you can turn it over, and on the back again I'm going to do silicone glue, and I'm doing it all over just so it's got a bit of something to support it so it doesn't dip in the middle like that. And then grab the card and place it down. Okay, so that means you end up with that. So that's the middle bit done. So now what I want to do is do the front 2 flaps. So I have this one here and I also have this one here. So for the very front I want to have happy birthday, so I've cut this out, happy birthday, and I'm going to go ahead and just add that onto there. It's not as vibrant as I would like it to be. In real life you can see it better than you can. If I hold it up you can sort of see it a bit better. I probably should have gone for a darker, maybe the orange, orangey yellow rather than this colour, but anyway. So we're going to go ahead and add this onto the front. This can be a little bit more raised up than the other one, just because it's on the front. Okay, so on the third one I have cut out a little fox from the pack, so I'm just going to put some silicone glue on the back of him, and then stick him down on the front here. Right, so now we've got all our 3 circles ready to go. Now to stick it all together. So obviously I've got wet glue, which is not ideal. I'd probably prefer to let this silicone glue dry first, but anyway, we're doing a video so we need to crack on. So I'm going to put this on here. This one is going to go over the top, and what I want to do, if I can, is to try and match it up. I mean, I don't want to end up with a wonky fox. Just squidge him a bit more. There we go. So what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to just put that there, and then I'm going to glue it with proper Yoo-hoo glue and stick it into place. I could use silicone glue, it'll give me a bit more time, a bit more wiggle room time, but no, I'm just going to go for it and hope for the best. I can still move Mr. Fox because he is, as I said, he is still wet, so that's something. So we'll go ahead and put some glue on here, and obviously we're sticking it onto the right hand side, so that's why I'm putting the glue on the right hand side. And then let's lay him into position and stick him down on that side. Now I'm going to do the same with the front, so I'm just going to lay that down like that, grab my happy birthday, and again let's hope that the happy birthday does kind of line up and is straight. Okay, so that's kind of lined up with the fox underneath, so I would need to just move my happy birthday a little bit to make sure it's straight, which is there, and then I'm just going to hold it at the top, and we're going to stick down the left hand side this time. Okay, so there's your finished card. And obviously if you want to add extra bits in you can. I'm tempted to put little gems around the outside of this wreath, and I might have done. By the time you see the photos on the video, I might well have done that. So you've got your happy birthday on the front, and then you open it up, and you've got Mr. Foxy, and you open it up again, and you've got this lovely card, and it stands up nicely on your desk. And yeah, I quite like it. I would like to put some little gems on the inside here, but it's going to add extra bulk, so I might not do that. If I do, I mean, I can add some flat ones. Might see if I can find some flat, maybe sequins or something that I could put in there. If you want to add, as I said, pattern card on the back of there, you could, pattern paper. I don't think it needs it personally, but yeah, so there you go. So that is how you make the card. So I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to go and check out my digital kit over on Ko-fi, and also my paper pads over on Amazon. All the links are in the description below. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and I'll see you again next time. Bye everyone.